In this video, we are going over 5 soccer tips to avoid soccer mistakes in matches in soccer. So if you find yourself making so many mistakes in matches, use these tips in order to avoid them. Yo guys, it's Dave here from SimplySoccer, where we are helping you to improve your game and stand out on the pitch. And on this channel, we release daily soccer tip, technique, and training videos, all designed to help you do just that. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and click that bell icon so you don't miss any new videos that we release. Now in this video, I just want to give you some quick tips that will help you to stop making some very common mistakes in matches. You know, when you get into a match, a lot of these mistakes can happen frequently, so it's good to be aware of them so you can avoid doing them and focus on doing the things that are going to help you have a great performance. So number one is one I've mentioned quite a bit, so I'm not going to spend too long on it, but it's nervousness. Something that really trips players up is going into matches nervous and being nervous during the match. Now I've already made a video on this and have plenty of other things that are going to help you with this area, so I'm just going to link them down below if this is a mistake or something that you're doing in matches so that you can get over your nervousness in game. Number two is poor decision making. I find that one of the biggest mistakes players make is poor decision making. Poor decisions can be as simple as losing the ball in a situation when you shouldn't, or playing a really terrible pass, or just choosing the wrong option. Some are worse than others, but some can lead to really bad situations for your team, like giving the ball away and your opposition team or the opposition team scoring a goal, for example. Poor decision making usually comes down to two things: a lack of soccer IQ, which is essentially your soccer intelligence and knowing what to do in the moment, and nervousness, which we covered in the first one. So if soccer IQ is the thing you are struggling with and you just don't know what you need to do in certain situations, that's something you need to get a grasp on. That's something you need to work on. So I'm going to link another video down below that helps you to improve your soccer IQ. And this is such an important area because you can be the most skillful player in the world, but if you don't know what to do in different situations, it doesn't really matter what you can do with the ball. Another huge one is lacking focus or not being able to focus. If you've ever heard a commentator saying that defender switched off and that's why the opposition scored, this is the exact reason. They lost their focus. You lose your focus when you kind of take yourself out of the present moment, when you get distracted. Maybe you're thinking about something that isn't relevant to the game, or you're just thinking at all. You need to make sure you are, focused 100% on the game as often as possible, preferably 100% of the time. Fourth common mistake is not bouncing back. And this is one of the huge ones as well, because like I've said in recent videos, you can have players who have a great 10 to 20 minutes in the beginning of the game, but then they will make a mistake and it will affect the rest of their performance. If you make a mistake, you need to bounce back immediately and not worry about it. It's your worrying about the mistake and getting down on yourself that's causing you to have a bad performance for the rest of the match. The best professionals in the world, even when they make a terrible mistake, are the ones who are able to bounce back and continue playing well even if they make a mistake. Now you definitely want to learn from your mistakes so you don't make them again, but you can analyze the mistakes after the match. In the moment, you need to bounce back right away, put the mistake out of your mind, and tell yourself that you'll look at the mistake again after the match so you can tailor your practice to not making those mistakes anymore. But in the moment, you need to forget about them and move on so it doesn't affect your performance. And number 5, and this one's a bit debatable, but I think playing too safe is actually a mistake, especially if you're an attacking player. Now, for you defense-minded players, you are not going to be taking too many risks. You're going to be playing safe for the most part. But even some of you defensive players can take risks from time to time, like passing the ball forward, for example, maybe beating that one guy and opening up space, whatever it is, maybe joining in on the attack for a corner or some other set piece, or during a counterattack. You want to be looking out for these moments when you can take a little bit of a risk. But for you more attacking players, you need to be taking risks. If you're, for example, a striker and you're never shooting, or you're never trying to thread a through ball, or you're never trying to take someone one-on-one, you need to start taking some more calculated risks. I'm not telling you to take a risk every single time. That would just be silly. But like I said, calculated risks. Because if you're not taking risks, you're not being dangerous, you're not really having much of an impact on the game if your position calls for you to attack and take some risks. So an easy way to get started with this is start taking a few more risks in your training, in your team training, when you're practicing. Like if you do small-sided games or full scrimmages in your training, Start taking a few more players on 1v1. Start taking a few more shots. Build your confidence in these different situations so that when it comes game time, you have much more confidence in your shooting. You have much more confidence in making that run that you may have not made in the past. You have so much more confidence trying to beat someone one-on-one or play that maybe risky through ball. So if you apply these tips and avoid these mistakes, I promise you, you are going to start playing better in matches. Remember, it won't happen right away. You have to keep working at these areas and be persistent. But if you do that, you will definitely see improvements come game time. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it and share it if you enjoyed this content or you're going to use some of these tips that I went over today. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to Simply Soccer. And as always, I will have 2 videos come across the screen so you can continue learning and becoming a better player. Thanks guys once again, and I will see you in the next video.